find urologists, especially mine, to be very competent in all technical aspects of removing your bladder when it is discovered that you have bladder cancer. In my case, I was told that the bladder needed to be removed because the cancer was very aggressive and it was growing back faster than they could remove it from the bladder. My urologist stated that there was some cancer growth very close to the mouth of the bladder. Therefore, it would be necessary to do a radical cystectomy. He went on to say that this would mean removing my prostate, seminal vesicles, and the lymph nodes in the groin. At that time, I was not well educated in what this would all mean to me after I recovered from the surgery. We also discussed the different methods available for getting the urine from the kidneys to the outside. I chose the urostomy pouch, as it was the only one that did not involve some incontinence. Nothing was mentioned about what my life would be like after my prostate was removed. At that time, I did not have the faintest idea of what things would be like. I was too wrapped up in the shock of having a very aggressive cancer. All I can say is thank goodness I was 61 years old when this surgery took place. Had I have been in my 20s to 40s, I would have been devastated after the surgery. My deepest sympathy goes out to those men who happen to be in that age range when they have to have their prostate removed for any reason whatsoever. I really don't think that I could have handled the situation without a great deal of help from someone. Had I have been in the 20s to 40 years age group. When your prostate is removed, in most cases, you can no longer get an erection. Therefore, intercourse is out the window. Also, with the seminal vesicles gone, you are sterile. At 61, not too bad, but still a shocker. Yes, I know that there are some artificial means out there for the erectile dysfunction, but who wants to have a pump installed in their penis? Pills such as Viagra and Cialis did not work for me, and they do not work for a lot of bladder cancer patients. Some urology surgeons will take the time during the operation to make sure that the nerves are left intact, but most do not. I would hope that in the younger age groups that the surgeon would take the time to make sure that the nerves remain intact. My beef here is that at the time when we are very vulnerable because of the cancer news, the surgeon cannot take the time to make sure we understand completely the way our life will change after the surgery. We are not in any shape mentally to even think about these types of questions, let alone to do any research to help us find out the answers. Don't forget that even at 60, we just might have been having a very active sex life before this disaster happened. Even 8 years after my surgery, I am still having situations occurring from this surgery that are new. Trying to get answers from the medical establishment is almost impossible. They just do not have the answers. But there is a group out there who do have the answers to most of the problems that will ever occur. These are the urostomy patients themselves, who communicate to each other through blogs and forums. Just a final thought to those men who have recently been diagnosed with bladder cancer and have not yet had their surgery. If you are still sexually active, make sure that you understand that intercourse may be over. Please make sure that you have all your questions answered by your urologist prior to any operation. For more details on bladder cancer, you can visit my blog, where I tell my story from diagnosis, surgery, the creation of a stoma, chemotherapy, and as of today, cancer-free. Thank you very much for listening.